Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Stowaway. And this is a new Netflix film from director Joe Penna, who previously did a great survival thriller starring Mads Mikkelsen, Arctic, and now is taking that sensibility into space. And you have this film starring Toni Collette, Anna Kendrick, Daniel Day Kim, and this group of astronauts go up into space and find an injured man stuck in the ship, which then causes a lot of ramifications and complexities, and how will they survive with this unexpected cargo, damage to the ship, and all of these potential issues. And you have Ryan Morrison, who co-wrote this film with Penna, and this film starts off with an intense and incredibly well crafted launch sequence, and you see it through the actors, and there's some great physical acting here from Anna Kendrick, Daniel Day Kim, Toni Collette, and you get so much in terms of their characters from this opening. You get that excitement, that youthful energy from Anna Kendrick, who's just bouncing up and down afterwards like, that was great! And you have Daniel Day Kim, who is throwing up and nauseous, and you have Toni Collette, who's really in control in this film and also rocking her Australian accent. And you have this opening, and it features such great subtle character work right off the bat. And you get onto the ship, and we start getting these really long tracking shots that work so great to help us get engrossed into the film and this environment. And cinematographer Clemens Becker does such a great job at following us through. We feel like we're a part of the crew. And that's so essential for us to feel invested in this story when we do find Shamir Anderson's character Michael, who is injured and somehow got onto the ship. But how did he get onto the ship? Doesn't really matter. And that's the thing, because this film doesn't focus on that. There's no nefarious twists, there's no nefarious thought or anything like that. It's just, this happened, it caused this to happen, and now we have to deal with it. And it poses some deep moral challenges, because one of them might have to die for the others to survive. And who's going to make that sacrifice? And you get so much of this. There's a great sequence of them being interviewed and cutting to their actions on a day-to-day basis, and really using that visual storytelling and those subtle character moments to be able to expand these characters. And throughout the film, you get this incredibly dynamic and interesting score from the composer of the film. And the composer, Volker Bertelmann, starts off with like this sweet and beautiful, moving kind of score, and shifts gears into this eerie and strange piano score in those tenser moments. We might be going off into this space to work on the ship, and you get this tension because you don't know what's going to happen. And this film could have focused much more on mystery, but it focuses more on the moral dilemmas at work here and more at the emotional human moments. And you have this charismatic crew, which I don't think Michael's the most interesting person, so Shamir Anderson might not have as much to do character-wise, but definitely delivers some emotion, because all the characters are very emotional in this film. They're facing such a moral dilemma. Toni Collette is so strong in moments, and then she's so vulnerable in others. Anna Kendrick has shifting gears, and Daniel Day Kim, who embodies the logic of this crew, does such a great job, this Lost alum, who is able to really capture this logic and this knowledge, and really has some presence among the crew. And you have a scene where he's talking about his love of jazz music that adds these layers to his character. And there's some impeccable effects here. This is a beautifully made film. Everything in terms of the ship and the space, it all feels so organic and real to watch. And narratively, It does focus on this moral dilemma. It does take its time to get places, and it does take way too long to get to the point where we're really making decisions here. So the pacing's a little bit off because the meat of the film just slows down and takes so long, and then you have the more engaging experiences lasting only a couple minutes and really throwing you off in that way. You definitely have this mounting tension in these sequences, like the launch sequence, like the catwalk towards the end of the film. The impressive set pieces, they work. And even if the pacing really isn't the greatest, and maybe we don't feel so connected or see so much depth in these characters, it's still an engaging and tense experience watching this film that's going to challenge you morally and think about who would you pick? Who should sacrifice themselves for the rest of the group? Or can they figure it out without having to reach that decision? And this film, Stowaway, I think is a really solid film for Netflix. It's definitely not as strong as Arctic, but I think Penna still brings a lot of his great work and his potential and talent into this film. But those are my thoughts on Stowaway. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.